Mike Dennis, what up, brother?
Tony Rock.
First and foremost, I want to say this. Mike Dennis, never Hollywood me again in your life. Don't do that. Don't Hollywood me. People change around people, and then they say that person changed, right? Like the person that's the celebrity, so to speak, is trying to stay the same, but then the people around them change.
That's true.
Right? My manager called me like, hey, Mike Dennis reached out to me and said he wants to do an interview with you this Friday. I said, why the fuck is Mike Dennis calling you? That nigga got my number. I know Mike for 30 years. Don't Hollywood me. You help me stay the same. Help me stay sane.
Okay.
So if you act Hollywood, then I'm like, why the fuck is he? Like, don't do that. Just hit me. Like, nigga, I'm coming through Friday late show. Let's talk. I'd be like, bet.
Okay, well.
He's like, oh, Mike Dennis is calling on your behalf. Nigga, Mike Dennis? That nigga know me. Don't Hollywood me, man. Help me stay the same motherfucker from Decatur Street.
It's also to let the club know that we're going to be coming here.
Fuck
we're going to be doing
that.
all that. Yeah, all right.
Just go, hey, nigga, I'll be there at 10.
Okay.
Mike, I got you.
All right, I'll DM you next
There
time.
you go, yeah.
All right.
'Cause if you change, then I got to change. Then I'm going to be like, talk to my people. You don't want to, you know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Then they going to have to pat you down and shit. Nigga, I'm like, nigga.
nah. All right.
They going to make you take your hat off. Nigga. So help me stay the same dude from Decatur Street.
All right, the same. All right, so, hey, everybody, this is Mike, and you're watching the Real Black
way of letting me know
Podcast.
you're going to edit that whole shit out because you started all over again. He going to cut that whole shit right there.
Well, we're uncut.
Go. What's up, Mike? How you doing?
I still have to introduce you because a lot of niggas don't know who you are.
Niggas know me, nigga.
A lot of people know
If
me.
it's us two sitting here, guess which one they know? They're like Tone and that nigga. Yo,
You gonna do me like
I'm fucking with
Monique?
y'all because I know Mike so long. It's like, dude, but this is my guy right here.
You're going to do me like Monique did me.
Oh, come, bro.
She-
I ain't saying nothing there.
Go watch the Monique interview. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Okay,
Yeah, I got sunned.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not touching that.
Huh? It's all good. It's all love. Yeah. So we're with Tony Rock, who just did some amazing shows here in Philadelphia at the Helium Comedy Club, and this is our first sit down. I've talked to you. You've been in films about your brothers, but we've yet to make a film about you. So
No, I was in Chris's original film. I was in Jordan's original film. Mm-hmm. But I think it's kind of cool that I just got to, give my little 2 cents on both of them.
This is the first time that I have on the opportunity to talk about you, specifically about your life, your career, what you're up to, what your vision is for comedy and rocking the world. So, before we get into today, just, like how, the typical question is like, growing up, did you always know you wanted to be a comedian?
Yes, I always knew I wanted to be a comedian. 2 jobs, I say it jokingly, but I'm actually kind of serious. 2 jobs I really wanted my whole life that I really desired as a child. I wanted to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I wanted to be a stand-up comedian. So every day I get on stage, it's like, yo, I don't know how many people walking this earth have the job they envisioned as a child, but I am one of those people. So every day is a good day for me.
Wow. And what informed that? Like, what made you feel that that's what you wanted to do?
Just the love of it, how I was attracted to it from early on. Just, listen, I give the cliche answer, but it was like listening to the comedy albums. And then it was, I got uncles that are super duper funny, right? My father's the oldest of 15. And we would have cookouts at the house. And I just remember my uncles telling stories and everybody in the backyard captivated by this guy telling a story. And I just was like, a kid just looking at like this guy, I thought it was a superpower, like how everybody is just focused on this person telling a story. And I just thought like, wow, if I could do that, if I could just hold people's attention in just telling a story, I thought it was really cool. Then came listening to the comedy albums, and it was like, oh, he's doing what Uncle G was doing or Uncle Poochie was doing. And then I would go to school and tell the jokes that I heard on Richard Pryor's albums and Red Fox's albums and get in trouble because I was using blue language. And my mother was, my mother's a school teacher, and she taught at the school I went to. So teachers would tell my mother, like, he's doing Bill Cosby in class, or he's doing Richard Pryor in class. He's doing George Carlin in class. And my mother said, this is this guy's job. He does this for a living. And that's when it was like, okay, well, that's what I'm going to do.
Right. Now, was Chris doing the same kind of thing simultaneously, or?
No, he's a few years older, so I don't know I don't know what his day in school was like. But then when he started, it made it very real for me, because everybody else was just a image. Like, I didn't know Richard Pryor, I didn't know George Carlin, but when the guy in the next room started doing stand up, it was, oh, I actually know a person now that does this, so I know I can do it now. And he was very encouraging. My brother always, like, I don't want to say it, I always let him say it, but I'll say it for this interview because he always says, hey, Tone's the funnier one. Because I was the funny kid. Chrissy wasn't funny as a child. He learned, like, the format of stand-up. I was the funny kid. So when he did it, it was like, okay, this is tangible. I can really do this.
Wow. So we're going back.
We call Chrissy in the house, just so everybody watching is like, Chrissy? That's what we call him in the house.
So the first time we met was in 1989 when I came to Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
My teeth have been fixed since then. I had
praise
Bed-Stuy
Jesus.
1989 Bed-Stuy teeth.
All right. Well, once again, we must cue the.
If you could imagine what teeth looked like in Bed-Stuy in 1989, them shits was in my mouth.
Is that the best part about blowing up in show business? You get orthodontic.
It's up there. It's up there. This top row right here, that shit is beautiful, bro.
It is. And I'm up close.
Yeah. So that's definitely a perk. It does not. I don't.
All right. So we just looked at the old.
Oh, you just put the old picture up?
Yeah, that's the only edit.
Otherwise, I then too, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And I had the janky camera, so the color's a little shifting. We were not in HD in 1989.
So congratulations to you. We both come a long way.
Thank you. So, do you remember your first time on stage?
First time on stage, I believe it was the comic strip, and I had a horrible set. I didn't bomb. I just didn't get any laughs, which is worse than bombing. Booing and getting you off the stage is actually a response. Like, get out of here, but that's like, okay, at least I know how they felt. Sitting in the room quietly not laughing is worse, because it's like, damn, I see you. You're not giving me any reaction. So it was like 5 minutes of just me talking, and the room sounded like this. But I could see the people. So that's worse than bombing. And then I didn't go on stage again for maybe a year. And in that time, I was like, okay, I got to really, like, I can't fuck around and think I'm funny with my friends. I'll be funny on stage because these aren't my friends in the room. And that's when I started kind of like trying to figure out the science of it all, which was the best part.
Yeah, and you definitely know how to work a room.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the most magical things about seeing Tony live is that he instantly takes control of whatever the energy is before it starts.
Right,
you know,
but it goes back to my uncle in the backyard. Okay. So I know how to get everybody in now. Like, I'm not going to say I could never bomb, because bombing it happens and you can't control it. But what I do on stage is like, it's very unlikely that I'll bomb now, because I know how to bring them in. I know how to really, like, reel them in with just a word or two, and then start my material after that. So now they're so intense and so they're paying such attention to me that I got them in for the rest of the ride.
Does it change when you work in a small venue like this versus when you're doing the arenas with the rest of the guys?
Yeah. Because here, this is intimate. Like, the first table's right there. When I went on tour with Mike Epps, it's 18,000 people. I can't say, hey, man, you guys married? Because it's people 50, 60 rows back. It's like, we can't see what's going on. So you can't do the crowd work like you do in intimate settings like this. And shout out to Mike Epps always, because every year for the last 3 years, they asked Mike Epps, who do you want to take on tour with you? And for the last 3 years, he said Tony Rock, so he will always get props from me.
Yeah, that was my next question. Like, when you were first starting to learn the science of working a room and the art of stand-up, you know, who were your mentors? Who really looked out for you and gave you guidance?
Ooh, who gave me guidance coming up? A lot of guys that aren't household names, but they worked the comic strip. So the strip was Mecca to me when I started out. The strip was, so like guys like Buddy Bolton, probably don't know, John Bush, Greg Giraldo. Greg Giraldo, may he rest in peace, was one of the guys that said to me the night I got my first Friday night set, Friday night 10 o'clock show. You don't get the Friday night 10 o'clock show until the club and the managers and the wait staff are all like, he's ready. And I got my first Friday night 10 o'clock show, and I saw it. They had the lineup posted for the week. And me and Sherrod are like in the lobby jumping up and down, going crazy over a Friday night set that's probably going to pay me $20. And Greg Giraldo's in the back of the club, and he said, hey, man, I hope you guys never lose that excitement. Because I saw how excited you guys were just now for a 10 o'clock spot, and it made me remember how excited I was for it. I've been doing it so long that I forgot that excitement. And you guys made me have a flashback for a quick second. So never lose that. And that's why to this day, every gig, my agent calls, hey, Philadelphia. I'm in the house like, Philadelphia, let's go, baby, let's go. Because I'm just always excited about being able to do this.
Now, there's an art to it. As we sit on the stage, I mean, Patrice O'Neal talked about it in the interview we did with him here.
Top 5 Dead or Alive.
Absolutely. Just how you move the attention to the room while keeping it still focused on you,
Right.
but keep the energy moving so
Right.
that everybody feels involved. I mean,
Right.
can you speak to that?
Right. So I can't tell you the science of it all, but I know sometimes it's as simple as the conversation is here with this person here, but then you talk to this side of the room because this person already has this room. By talking to this person here, you have this half of the room. So now you go to this side of the room and say, hey, I just asked him if he got, so now they're in. And then you go back for another question, and then they're in now because they want to see where it's going, and they're already locked in. So you maneuver strategically to keep the room engaged. Answer the phone. You keep the room engaged by maneuvering. So a lot of comics you see, they do that pace where they keep it moving to keep you engaged. It's like a tennis match. You watch the ball, you watch a tennis match, they're like this because they want to see everything. So when you do that pace on stage, the audience is so locked in now, they don't want to turn away because they don't know where you're going to be if they look away. You're moving. That's why a lot of guys that stand still, they can look, and they know if they look away, you're still there. So now they start turning to their friends to have a conversation. They over here because they know he's going to be right there. So the movement is to engage them, to keep them engaged.
And what's the best part of what's the best laugh that you can hear in a room?
So many. Crowd work is a great laugh where you top of the dome, if somebody says something, you say something right back. That's a great laugh because it was so organic. It wasn't written. It wasn't planned. That's a great laugh. Telling a new joke for the first time and it works, like it booms. That's a great laugh. Just in general, because most comics write their own material. So just to know that you wrote this is something that you concocted in your head. You said it to a room full of strangers and they rewarded you with laughter. That's a great laugh. Pardon the fly flying past right now.
Right, yeah, we are in HD.
Yeah,
despite the fact that you're watching this on your phone. So if it's rolling back and forth, or if you hear somebody in the back who can't control themselves because of something you said,
what was the question?
What's the better energy for you to keep
when
take it to the next level?
When I'm on with Mike in the big tour and I say a joke and that shit hits and goes 50, 60 rolls up and back and then comes back, that shit is like a drug, man. That shit is like goosebumps. Like, wow, I just said, and you have to literally wait for an arena to take it all in before you say the next thing because you got to wait for it to go. It's like a wave around the room.
It literally moves.
It literally moves the room. And then you say something that's like, you get to your big, like, I know this is going to kill him, when you have those bits, and you got to stand there and, like, let that shit travel through the arena before you say anything else. So that's always, it's almost mind-blowing that you could do that with just, a joke.
So words. We're not going to give away your act, but there are some current event things. I mean, This is the first time I'm seeing you since the pandemic.
Right.
How did the pandemic affect you? What's your feeling about vax and all this stuff?
The pandemic changed my life. I had a son during the pandemic. My child was born in May. The country shut down in March. So that was life-changing. Every day that's life-changing. It gave me time to write. It gave me time to get ready for coming out of the pandemic because I knew, I looked at it like everybody's locked up, right? Especially in the industry. Like once the floodgates open, who's going to be ready to go as soon as the gates open? And I was like, I'm going to be the guy ready to go as soon as the gates open. In every facet. I'm going to write the project I want to write and be ready to go. I'm going to have the social media platform ready to go. I'm going to have the material ready to go. So as soon as the gates open, I'm going to be the guy out to the strong lead. As opposed to, I know a lot of comics probably just sat back and waited like, well, let's see what happens. And then the gates opened and they had to kind of ramp it all up again. I was ready to go. I was in the starter's block ready to go the whole time.
Right. Now, I mean, the folks with masks, not masks, I mean, does that make you comfortable or uncomfortable? It is. I mean, where are we? Like, it's like the whole vaccine thing's been politicized. It's been, everybody has an opinion on it. I mean, what's your feeling on?
Well, for the room, I want people in the room to do whatever they want to do to feel comfortable. So if you feel more comfortable wearing the mask, please do. If you feel like you want to take it, put it on your neck and take it down, go right ahead. I want you to be comfortable. The mask mandates, and that's one thing. The vaccine is weird. It's weird because I would rather it be Okay, the vaccine's out there. If you want to get it, it's your choice. I would rather it wasn't, you can't come in here without the vaccine. You can't go to school without the vaccine. It's kind of like, I don't like the forcing of it all. That makes me feel uncomfortable. Because if there's something wrong with it, and to be forcing, then a lot of people are going to be in trouble.
Right, mass inoculations and then, recall.
Right. Come on, this is America. We've seen baby powder recalled. We've seen fucking way worse things, way smaller things recalled. You know what I'm saying? Right. People got cancer from weed spray. People got, in trouble from things that we didn't even think were that serious. People are in trouble. Right. So, let's take some time with it. Let's not force it so soon.
Fair enough. So you're just advocating freedom of choice because we're on YouTube. They're banning right. People saying they're banning anti-vaxxers, but to say
I'm watching my words. That's what I'm.
Yeah. So
be careful what you say.
We're not anti. We're just saying freedom of choice.
Exactly.
This is America.
Exactly.
This is America. So R. Kelly going to be going to jail, but Bill Cosby's out. Any thoughts, feelings? As a black man, as a black person in America, how do we pick our heroes from now on? And how do we go to barbecues how does it affect? Are you able to separate the art from the artist in cases like this? And as a black person, how does it affect our psyche when we see people that have had such large success that we tend to idolize?
Damn, that's like 9 questions in one. But okay, here's one. I have always separated the art from the person.
Gotcha.
And that started when I realized like a lot of people in sports particularly weren't speaking out on certain issues. And then it was like, well, I like this dude as a football player. Like, why would I expect a football player to say something political, to even know the stakes what the stakes are? Or, this guy's a rapper. Why would I expect this guy that raps to say something poignant about this thing? So then I realized, okay, if you're going to listen to this person, just listen to the music. Don't get involved in what their beliefs are or what they do when they leave the studio. That's none of your business. What they into, but now something like as heavy as R. Kelly, then I can't do that. I can't say, well, I just listen to the music. If he's a fucking child molester, that's something else. No, now that affects, everything. Because I can't say, well, the music's still good. The music is still good. But it's like, dude, come on, man. We're going to just turn a blind eye to this? And then I don't like when people have blind loyalty to something without in particularly, which is weird, black women. Black women have so much loyalty to R. Kelly. They're like, them girls knew what the fuck they was doing. Wait, you saying a 14-year-old girl knew what she was doing with a fucking 40-year-old man? Like, you like the songs that much that you can't even see, you can't even step outside of it and judge it, unbiased? So that's why I separated the artistry from the person a long time ago.
I mean, to be fair, Step in the Name of Love is kind of a great record.
Nigga, have you heard 12 Play? But now 12 Play has a whole different meaning. That bitch was 12. He was playing with her. Hey, write that down. I'm gonna have to keep that.
We'll let that one settle. So I did want to talk to you about fatherhood and all that stuff, because last time we talked, it was always about relationship advice.
Listen,
now it's a different relationship.
Bro, it's the best thing. It's so crazy to look at my son and see the human form of the best thing I've ever done in my life. The walking, talking representation of how God is great is walking in my living room. It's so incredible. And the nigga looked like me. So it's like, damn, I made this. It's the best thing I ever did in my life.
You were ready for fatherhood.
I was ready. That's the thing. I was ready for it. Right. I didn't just get a phone call like, hey, we need to talk. This is Keisha from Cleveland. Like, I didn't get that. I got, my house is ready. My money's ready. My life is ready. My mental space is ready. Let's do it. It's the best thing ever, ever. Shout out to all the fathers out there that are real fathers, because some people are fathers and some people just have kids. I'm not talking to the people that just have kids. I'm talking to the fathers. Shout out.
Okay. So winding it down, where can people see you next? What's social media, website, all that good stuff?
TonyRockComedy.com, Tony_Rock on Instagram, Tony Rock on Twitter. Yeah, tour dates all year. I'm about to go back out with Mike again in what's this? This is October. November, end of November. Me and Mike are going back out. It's me, Mike, Quake, some more, I believe. Lavelle's on a few dates. I think Gary Owens is on a few dates. So look for that. I'm happy again to be out with those guys. Those guys are like guys that I looked up to, and now my name is literally on the fucking marquee with people I watched on TV before I even started doing stand-up. So that's just a blessing in itself.
Definitely a blessing. Well, I'm going to ask you one more question,
Yes, sir.
but thank you for hanging out with us, and
Always.
Always.
Next time, don't Hollywood me. Just say, nigga, I'm coming through.
you got it.